You researching now? We just saw the episode.
Umbilical cord.
No. That's the devil's cord? Happy Mother's Day. Jeez. What's up, my donos? Welcome to the second episode of season 1, or everywhere else in the world, series 14 of the 2005 reboot of Doctor Who, with Judy Gatwa as the Doctor and Millie Gibson as Ruby Sunday, the Doctor's companion. This episode was kind of groovy, and it's called The Devil's Chord. They waste no time in this episode.
You got a cold open.
We're introduced immediately.
Yeah.
To the character of the Maestro.
Mm-hmm.
Played by Jinx Monsoon and a very famous drag queen. And I thought that the opening was so interesting.
It was.
Because they didn't waste time. So normally, okay, it's someone in the past who's smart enough to do a thing. You've got all these geniusy people, whatever else, and this guy's a music teacher, instructor, and he finds the devil's chord and summons Maestro. So what ends up happening is normally stuff like that, you get the Doctor in the past, things have started to change, and he would encounter the person who did it, and they have to somehow reverse it. Mm-hmm. He did that with Jewish Shakespeare, how Shakespeare had to be the only person to reverse the thing. Like, they do that where they're the ones who have to do the thing. Not this episode. Dude's done. Dude's done. Brings them out. I'm not going to bury the lead. This episode is amazing because it's the first continuation or in this new era where you get to see a villain or character referenced. We just saw the Toymaker in the 60th anniversary.
Yes.
This is the Toymaker's kid. Okay, so it's still part of the Phantom God, whatever they're called. And I was like,
he did say he was sending his legions.
Right?
Or, I'm sorry, his legions are coming.
By the way, Mrs. Know-it-all, she's on that nonsense. The second that the Maestro's coming out and you hear, she goes, oh,
that's
like
the giggle.
The giggle. And literally the next line from the Doctor is, that was the giggle. And I was like, oh, so good for you.
Thank you.
All the points. Yeah, man, it was, it's fun. And it's a simple premise. Mm-hmm. Ruby decides she wants to see, of all the things in in space and time, she wants to see the Beatles record their album. And the Doctor's genuinely taken back by it before he's finally like,
that is amazing!
Oh, right, seriously!
Oh, people always say the Titanic, or Mars, or Bethlehem.
Because he goes, people always want to go, they want to go see this or that. And he names like famous things that everyone wants to go see. Or Bethlehem he cites, and I'm like, oh. Anyways, and I just thought it was so cool, like the references they made. He continues the practitioner trope of referencing people in time that he has hung out with.
Yes.
And I'm like, right on, girl, good for you. Which always, it's because when you have stuff like this with Generation, which was so close to these episodes, it's not like he had any time between. Whereas other Doctors have had they regenerated, then they go off, and then finally they find the companion or whatever the next episode is. And you sit there and you go, okay, so there could have been 100 years where this version met and hung out. But I tend to think more that he's referencing the grander scheme of his existence.
Yeah.
This episode was very interesting. Again, the connections to the giggle I thought were very good. Seeing a new villain we haven't seen in a long time, and a really creative one too.
I like the way that they're, especially, I don't want to spoil, we're not doing spoilers.
Yeah, oh my gosh, we spoil the crap out of stuff. If you haven't seen it yet, tough. No,
what I was going to say was, the boy in the beginning, we say again at the end, which I'm like, that's the boy.
Yeah, the Harbinger, H. Binger, and they're like, oh.
And I forgot to mention this to you. If we recall, at the end, at the end of the actual...
The 60th anniversary?
Thank you. Words are difficult today.
When he lost his tooth?
We lost his tooth. A woman picked up, and I don't know if this was
The Maestro?
Yeah, the Maestro, or we have somebody else coming, but somebody with red nail polish. I feel like they,
So, yes.
Okay.
But I feel like that's a dangling participle because Russell Davies is known for leaving things for other people to grab onto later.
Okay.
He likes to leave.
Okay.
He likes to leave ways in for future writers to be able to play with stuff. So I don't know because one thing is in a recent interview he promised we weren't getting the Master, so there's no connection to the Master this season. He guarantees there's currently no plans to bring back the Master. The Master's been used ad nauseum now or since all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, fair enough, and I'm down. And so to see the to see the Doctor have to face down something, the point of all of this is the Maestro has stolen music. So people have the songs in their hearts, the Maestro's consuming them. And thus leaving the world with no music. Ruby doesn't understand. He takes it in the future only to show her if we don't change it, this is what we're gonna see.
Yep.
And the Maestro was waiting. Because the Maestro recognizes immediately that Ruby's different. There's something about Ruby. So the Maestro tries to take control of the TARDIS. Doctor jumps in. They stay hot-footed back to the only place he can go is the last place he was. The only thing you do. Boom, they show back up at Abbey Road. They're back in the place again. This is when the Maestro looks haggard.
Yes, when Ruby's.
And so the Maestro wants to trap Ruby and makes Ruby start to sing. And Ruby starts singing something different. The Maestro's like, there's something hidden. You have a song you're hiding in your heart. It was a Christmas song. And snow, just like that, starts to fall. And this whole thing is connected with, and it's so amazing because the Doctor's like, what's this, all this? And the Maestro keeps saying, she's broken.
This creature is very wrong.
She's not right.
She's not right.
And this is a cosmic entity being per se, trying to tell the Doctor that. Mm-hmm. And I think the Doctor's taking it to heart because obviously later on at the end of the other episode, the Doctor turned on this biometric scanner thing, similar to how for a couple times Matt Smith was scanning Amy a few times when he thought something wasn't right. This Doctor's trying to figure her out. Ruby doesn't add up. And so the one thing, last episode when Ruby said she wanted to go home, the Doctor gave her a key. He said to her, I can't ever take you back. I can't ever take you there. Because if I take you there, it's going to break. Something's going to go wrong. And we're going to have the horrible, darkest of paradoxes. He speaks with the gravity of the Time Lord. And that's always a sign of a good Doctor for me. When a Doctor can really pull on that and seem like the Thunderhead or seem like the like immortal idiot or something like in the goofy way. By the way, new outfit again.
Yeah, he doesn't have a look.
This is not, or that is his look.
Or that is his look.
Yeah.
Not having a look.
As soon as they had the opportunity to go to the wardrobe and start, he was like, oh, we're doing this. And I was like, okay. Because normally, most, like, they would tend to have one or two outfits, that's it. Christopher Eccleston would change his jumper, that was it. Matt Smith had the same suit, changed his tie, maybe, if that was it.
Yeah, blue on him.
And the red one or whatever. And so it's like now all of a sudden, I love it that if this is a characteristic of his, having fashion sense,
it's kind of cool.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down.
I'll say it again, like I said, for the last episode is they're definitely laying the groundwork for a new generation.
Absolutely. No, it's so cool. I was like, what an opportunity for people to have you can cosplay any way you want. Are you dressed nicely? Done. Or maybe get the jacket. I know there's a website online that has like the outfits that people wear, and so the jacket's an actual one that can be purchased, like commercially from other places, not a Doctor Who related costume thing. And I'm like, right, because he's wearing designer stuff.
Yeah,
very cool. Also, in the '60s, he had an afro. I'll bang an afro at that.
I like that one.
Yeah, no, they're great right there, right on my shoulder. Super groovy.
Super groovy.
We did get to see the Beatles, but I think like the Beatles were a misdirect. I thought it was going to be like some classic episodes where, like, again,
I guess
there's a focus who's running with them, but they do play into it later.
It takes a musical genius to banish Maestro because it took a musical genius to release them.
And so the Doctor tries and almost gets it right, but screws up in the end. And so what does the Maestro do? Kick the piano out the hallway. Who's waiting out there?
Mr. John Lennon.
He's right. And I think also Paul, right?
No, and Paul McCartney came out band, not the real ones.
No, yeah. But it's so cool, and you could see magically the notes floating in the air, and they're like, oh yeah, and they managed to find the final note, and poof, the Maestro was getting banished. And but it's the Doctor clearly knows there's something going on with Ruby. I think we all do too.
Yeah, there is. Again, there's a Christmas song locked in her heart. Our connecting dots. I just love.
Absolutely, no, for sure. So yeah, man, I had a good time with this episode. But there you go. Now you know. And always have the battle. You have to ignore yourself. Was it all in next week's episode? What did you think of this one?
8.5.
Nice. Okay, that's great. I think that's fair.
I think I gave it an 8.5. I did like the other one, like the story motor for the last episode, but this one, it was. I gave it a half point just for it was fun. It was.
But then, like, literally,
it was fun. It was
all the artists.
They start. Yes, there's dancing, and I just think it's so cool.
Oh, and just in case people don't know, why would you bury this? Don't tell anyone. The very end, this thing, the Doctor breaks the fourth wall, winks at us, and it becomes a musical number. And it's hilarious. It's original, too, because it's not... But early on, I was saying they see that Disney money because they're playing actual...
They actually played real songs.
Associated with the 60s. Not like past Doctor Who's where they had to use like discount karaoke versions of certain songs. But yeah, I was impressed. Overall, I was really impressed with it. So I also give it an 8.
I am excited for next week, too.
Me, too. Boom. Looks like it's going to be fun. I can't wait. Comment below. Let me know what you thought. This here is the actual last week's episode if you missed it. Also, don't forget to like, review, subscribe. But this is the playlist for this season. So subscribe to both these things, follow along. And of course, we'd love to see you guys. All right, till next time, never forget.
Everyone loves a know-it-all.
Bye-bye.